Well, the great puzzlement to my mind after listening to Matt Kahn's lecture on not being a victim is, Matt, what do you do with demonics that, you know very well because they've been around for a very long time. Demonics that, ruin the quietness of the internal silence of your own mind and get into your body and start shaking you so much that you can't fall to sleep. Matt Kahn's solution is to just keep using compliments. I've had enough experience with demonics to tell you Matt Kahn doesn't know what it's like to have undergone a internal demonic attack. Or if he does, he's not talking about it in his lecture. Or perhaps it's, how he deals with other external humans. And, at the end of the day, Matt can go to his house and lock the doors and, put on his mood music. He said something to the same effect that it's easy to be spiritual when you're at home and you can do that. But when you're out in public, and you have to deal with real humans, that's another story. But I'm going to tell Matt Kahn, it's a completely different story whether you're out in public or you're at home, you've got demonics with you that are very comfortable with you, know your whole history, know everyone that you ever met, and constantly interrupt you. These ones are not looking for compliments. They're not looking for verbal diarrhea. Basically, all they want to do is be a pestilence to you for no other purpose than they can. And so I don't find Matt Kahn's lecture valuable when you're dealing with demonics. Perhaps it's useful to you if you're dealing with humans. And Matt said, you simply don't go down to their level. And again, I don't think he's rational. Because if you just are going to be verbally complimenting someone who's in your face, it might work for somebody, but usually what I find is if somebody's a bully, the only thing a bully understands in the end is force. So what's the point of being a love doormat? Nothing. There's no point in being a love doormat because you're going to get kicked around. And on this planet, there's plenty of those kind of people who will kick you around. And you can try it for a while, and I've done it before with people who are bullying in nature. Give them a compliment. Try and be pleasant to them. That doesn't work, Matt Kahn. What planet have you grown up on? So as far as me recommending Matt Kahn, I'm going to have to revise my whole idea that somehow Matt Kahn is a great spiritual teacher, because we've worked with some of his stuff, the internal conflict. And to tell you the truth, it doesn't work. So Matt Kahn, I guess I'm going to have to update, revise, and maybe rewatch your internal conflict, because it doesn't work. I don't have nothing for you, no. And this is another example. I'm in the middle of doing a lecture, talking to my phone or someone on the phone, and someone is bloody rude and thinks they can come and interrupt someone who's busy because they got no grace and they got no sense. You're a fucking twat. Get the fuck away from me. You're a fucking rude cunt. Can't you see I'm busy? You can't see that I'm busy, and you gotta get in my face. Fuck off. Go somewhere else and be a fucking twat. Go fuck off. Go back to the fucking world you came from. Fucking pigsty. This is the way I have to deal with people. It sounds like I'm being nasty. I'm sorry. The only way you can deal with people who have no common decency is to get in their face. Now, what happened to her? Nothing. But she's Do I feel any better about it? No, I'm walking away. So was it helpful, my interaction with her? No. This is why we say it's the idiot's parade. Because these kind of beings, they don't get it. They don't get it. They're unteachable. They are the walking dead. So, I mean, if you're Matt Kahn, well, you can say, oh, you know, bless you, dear, or something, and pretend that you're like Yogananda. It doesn't work in the real world. In the real world, you have to show them that you're tough. And I don't think she even got that. I don't think she got that. This is the same kind of person that I see over here. She looks like a crackhead, and she's standing outside the beer store. This is the kind of person that, you know, Matt Kahn, I'm sorry. Maybe you just get in your car and drive away after you say, well, bless you or something. It doesn't work with these ones. You can't love them. You, even when you shout at them, get the hell away from me, you gotta have your dukes ready, because these are the ones who are very dangerous. They are very, very, very dangerous. And being a doormat to this kind of person is very bad for you. Because you open the door to one of these kind of people, you're looking for them to ruin your life. Somebody else said, I left house because 3 people came over. And they said I owed them money. I don't owe them any money. I said, buddy, call the cops. Oh, I don't want to do that. Why not? That's what they're there for. It's your house. They don't live there. Call the cops. It's the idiot's parade. There's no common sense. And as far as me telling someone, you know, I'm busy in the middle of making a lecture. I'm either doing this or I'm talking to someone on the phone. And, you know, coming up to somebody when they're in the middle of doing something, there's no sense. You know, it's like, feel out the situation, wait for someone to finish off their phone call. No, it's just bloody rude. It's all about me. It's all about me, and in her case, it was all about me lighting my cigarette, because I'm such a fucking crackhead, I don't have a lighter. I bummed a cigarette, and now I'm looking for somebody to come and light my light. It just happens too many times. There's too many of these idiots around. You know, so you do. You know, you can try the Mad Con thing, but I tell you, it just comes with history. It just comes with the history of dealing with the same person. They look different, but they're the same person inside. Now, that's if you got an external human. If you've got an internal person, which is, in other words, you've got someone who is possibly a lower astral demonic, who is projecting their consciousness into your mind. Matt Kahn's advice is absolutely useless. Because I'll tell you, I've dealt with enough of low vibrational entities. You can't converse them out of your head. You can. A lot of these ones have got full access to everything you ever experienced, including all the spiritual teachings. So reminding them of the spiritual teachings, does it help? Maybe, sometimes a little bit. But with some of them, they're as dumb as that woman back there. They're as dumb as dumb as dumb. Are they brain damaged? Or are they just have a very strong intention to serve themselves? I think it's the latter. I think they have a very strong intention to obliterate you with whatever trivial need it is. They want you to drop everything in your life to serve them. These demonics, I was told, by some advisor, well, in the end, they're going to have to balance out their actions and their thoughts. That's a poor excuse. It's a poor answer. And the one demonic that's bothering me right now keeps saying, what are you going to do about it? And in the end, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do about it. I'm going to keep telling this demonic to fuck the hell off. And he keeps going and repeating. So it's just like something you find in grade school. Except with these ones, you can't push them out until you have acquired some kind of superpower to push them out. Calling on angelics to come and help you. Archangel Gabriel, Michael, please help me. I've got a demonic situation here. It doesn't work for me. So it must be either a growth process where at some point I am going to get some kind of an ability to push these ones aside, or I'm going to be tortured by these things forever. My angel numbers say keep a positive mindset, which is I'm growing and I will have abilities to deal with these demonics. It seems to be taking a very long time to acquire these things, but perhaps I have to have a good deal of experience. I'm getting a beep on that. I've got to have a great deal of experience where I can't deal with them, other than, patience is a virtue. Having demonics attack you will definitely try your patience. Definitely. And as far as Matt Kahn saying that interacting with demonics might help them, yes, there have been some low vibe entities that apparently have left me they don't bother me anymore. So it might work with some of them. Some of them are intractable. If you have an infinite lifespan, I don't know. I mean, if you're only going to be here for 80 years as a human, and you have years of your life contaminated by demonics, and you're on a spiritual growth program, well, it's a tough lesson to learn. It's one you say, okay, I learned this yesterday. Please make them go away. No. It might be for you. Someone in my city said they've been harassed by demonics for 7 years. Will that build your patience? Will that fry your nerves? Will that put you in the insane asylum? As far as what would Hermes say, Hermes would say the message from Hermes is always the same. Don't shoot the messenger. And what happens with the demonics, I don't understand them, because they assault my physical body. Now, the way I guess I'm going to have to go back a little bit to Matt Kahn, because he says it's about the body, this journey here on planet Earth. I think he's incorrect in so many ways. But he does treat the body as being a separate spirit from the mind. He says it's all about the body and giving the body time to, to do what it has to do. And that's good. But he basically poo-poos the mental aspects. And I think that's totally incorrect. Because the mental aspects need to learn to bow down to silence. And through the silence, that's where the highest wisdom comes from. And I haven't heard all of his lectures. They're very long, an hour and 15 minutes for some of them. So I go through and I listen to small samples. I'm going to remind you that in the interest of brevity, your instincts are to not listen to a long lecture, Bob. And in the interest of talking to you, I'm going to tell you, last night, one of the demonics wasted a bunch of my portable data on my phone, not for the first time. Demonics can get into your phone and they can screw with it. Demonics can go and it's going to change your version of reality when you've started to deal with demonics. Because they can get pictures that you will know that you've seen years ago and long lost, and they can put them on your phone and they can put them into your mind. They're going to say that's impossible. It's not impossible. It's because you believe that the phone, the smartphone, is a physical object that can be protected by security. And you believe you're a physical being. These are incorrect. You are consciousness. And this smartphone I'm talking to is a item in consciousness. And beings that are conscious and are given some kind of consciousness gift, consciousness power, consciousness activation, can do things that would blow your mind. But if they're negative entities and they've got these abilities, what are you to think? Why would someone gift a negative entity with the ability to do these to human beings? The answer is primarily they fell off the path of enlightenment. These nasty beings that have got what you would call superpowers, at some point in some lifetime, were on a path, a spiritual path. And they fell into what's known as a spiritual trap. Primarily what they fell into is abuse of power. It's basically they had a residual ego, and this one that's talking to me right now, it's a very rude damn thing. I'm in the middle of talking. I'm just the same as that other stupid twat over by the beer store. I'm in the middle of talking, and this one just continuously, it's like being at a hockey game and when they taunt the goalie. This one's taunting me. Anyway, the whole point of the matter is these ones were on a spiritual path somewhere along the line, and they fell into a spiritual trap where they acquired force, some kind of ability over other beings. And I'm going to call it force. And they use their force because their huge, fat, fucking ego demands it. They're not following anything to do with enlightenment. They are always about being stumbling blocks to others. And when you run into some of these demonics, when you first discover how powerful they are, it's a big learning experience. It's like, holy shit. And then when you're told from your religious education, call on archangels or something, and they don't come, then you're going to be in for, I guess I'm going to have to deal with this myself. And when, the demonics start removing your powers as a human to think and react, and basically all you are is a spot of awareness, then you might suffer for quite a long time, hours and hours and hours, day after day after day, year after year after year, while you wait to see if you're going to acquire any kind of countermeasure to their nasty powers. Or are they going to get something from their interaction with you and your spiritual knowledge and your continuing spiritual growth, where they finally break off their attack and perhaps get back on the path to enlightenment? It's unknown when you're dealing with one of these demonics what's going to happen. But, he's still saying it. What are you going to do about it? You're going to live your life. And you're probably going to have to live your life with, if there's one demonic attack on you, there are likely going to be multiples. Because once one comes in, either they hang around for a while and bring their friends, or they bug out, and some other one comes in. Because perhaps you are known in the astral world as being someone who is on a spiritual path, or someone who is easy prey. Is there anyone on planet Earth who's not on a spiritual path? Yes, quite a few people. It's a spiritual path, like I suppose to be a raging alcoholic for 75 years till you drop dead of cirrhosis. I don't know if you're going to get a life review that says, geez, you really screwed this one up. Maybe you want to try it again, and I don't know how many lifetimes you're going to try and, still succumb to booze. Spiritual path. But if you're somebody who is really trying to pursue enlightenment in a spiritual fashion, I suppose at some point in time you'll either see someone else who's afflicted by demonic entities. Quite often in the medical system, they will say, if you're afflicted by demonic entities, you've got a imbalance in your brain chemistry, and all they want to do is prescribe various medical pills. This is because the Western medical system is completely bankrupt. It is completely bankrupt. And it doesn't deal with metaphysical reality at all. It is an open and closed case. We're going to prescribe you X drug. And the side effects of these drugs are horrible. As I said in one of my previous lectures, someone that I knew who was diagnosed with bipolar was given a lithium drug which corrupted her kidneys so badly she died. And this was a medical malpractice, but what are you going to do? How are you going to bring back a dead person? The point of the matter is that psychiatrists do not learn about metaphysics. All they know, apparently, is the drug treatments and electroconvulsive shocks and all kinds of horrible brutalities. But if you went to a shaman who knows about ghosts, in other words, non-physical beings, who knows about good spirits, neutral spirits, and really nasty spirits, if you pick up any book on shamanism, what is it all about? It's going to other realms and contacting the spirits that are there. Well, I'll tell you that a lot of those spirits like to come here and contact humans. So, someone wants to know, what kind of a shaman am I? I'm basically a neophyte to everything, because I am not very old. In order to be, an advanced shaman, I don't know, you might have to be 1 million years old, because that's how long it would take to really get a good feel for all the different grades and subgrades of spirits on the positive and negative polarities. So, somebody says, don't let that get you down. You still have to go by your angel numbers. And your angel numbers say, think positively. So don't let them get you down. And sometimes they will. Sometimes they will, because they also have the ability to send highly negative feelings to you, highly negative thoughts to you. and probably highly negative people to you. You might feel gang stalked. So what are you really learning about this? Well, you're really learning, how some of these things fell off the path to spiritual enlightenment. And that's, don't follow them. Number one thing. So, if you ever do get some spiritual attainments, strangely, the demonic one that, has been taunting me sometimes gives me a useful word. Why is that? It's unbelievably difficult to pinpoint the spirit who is taunting me. Because I was in deep meditation last week for a very long period of time, and all I could get was this spirit is, there's actually plural, there's spirits, they're hiding in a shielded area. So even in my deep meditation, I was unable to penetrate anything other than the fact they are hiding in a shield. How much deep of a meditation do you got to go into before you can penetrate the shield? It's not known to me. But are these ones here for my benefit? Yes, according to me. And I didn't know what I was going to say there. Are they here for my benefit? When I got yes. Could it have been no? Could have been, but I got yes. And the benefit I'm gaining is what I've just told you. Experience. The benefit to them is I keep telling them that they are running out of their highly... he wants to say something. Oh, they want to pretend that they are the archangels being nasty on purpose to train me in the ways of nastiness. Could you believe that Archangel Michael would, for years at a time, put on a mask and play the devil to teach you something? This one that likes to play the devil, the demon, won't shut up. But maybe that's part of his mask. Instead of, being a quiet thing, it's just a yappy twat. And it likes me to make these videos so that you can have the benefit of my experience. And then when I go to post these videos, quite often it will start screwing up the internet, and it was screwing up with my mind, so we can't tell if this video has been posted or not. Sometimes the video goes up and then it immediately disappears. So what's the point of it all? We're going to have to go with, this one is not an archangel. This one is some kind of a being from another realm who still has got certain abilities over our plane of existence, what we call planet Earth, and that the angelics, I don't understand why they are doing what they're doing. In other words, once I got the lesson that these things exist, why don't the angelics change my reality so I don't have to experience it anymore? Maybe it's still a matter of whatever I've got. I'm good at dealing with demonics and helping at least some of them change their ways. I suppose somebody's got to do it, because if the demonics don't get an interaction with someone who's got some spiritual, they want to say backbone, just someone who is there and can't get away from them, who continues to go on with life, then perhaps they're never going to get any help. And in the end, if you're caught in a spiritual trap and you're getting a lot of ego inflation from your spiritual trap, they want me to remind you of the Transformation Tarot of Osho, which talks about different, well, probably enlightened beings in human form that dealt with a number of different situations. Am I an enlightened being? No. I'm pretty much a dumb twat myself. I really am. Rumpelstiltskin was the first to use the term vacuated my bowels to mean not so much my bowels, but vacuated my brain. And he used to say that I was a bit of a zombie because once he had done this magic trick in order to kind of disorient me mentally, he basically, used it. Rumpelstiltskin, when he came to me, he said he was 2,700 years old. He said he was a dark elf of the fifth dimension, or fifth density. I think it was the fifth dimension. But in the fifth dimension, if you listen to The Age of Aquarius by the Fifth Dimension, the 1969 song, approximately 69, it doesn't sound like there would be a Rumpelstiltskin there. So maybe he meant fifth dense. I don't know. He doesn't seem to be around too much. He doesn't talk. And generally speaking, we have the opinion, although if he's a very smart elf and he's 2,700 years old, he's probably have a way more experience at always have a shadow of doubt with Rumpelstiltskin. Well, he's left me alone for a long time. And there's other demonics that have followed in with him. So I don't know what to tell you about Rumpelstiltskin. Has he mended his ways, or has he just decided to allow other ones to play with me? I cannot come to a determination. I don't have enough consciousness in order to really understand the nature of the game that these demonics are playing with me. And some of the spirits that I also talk to are not demonic. And some of the demonic spirits will be highly demonic in the morning for hours, say for 4 hours in the morning, and in the evening they'll be very friendly and polite. And then it'll go back to the same thing day after day. Try and figure that one out. And almost, I don't know. Someone says it's a script. I don't know. I was given at one time that a lot of the things that go on here on planet Earth are scripted. I don't know. It just still doesn't make any sense because it's a really shitty script. Anyway, that's a very long lecture. And the takeaway from this is don't be a doormat for humans who have no respect for you. Maybe you can scream at them and it just bounces off of them. And they're going to go and bother someone else. But don't be their doormat. Don't invite them into your house. And for God's sake, don't try and change them. There are some people who think their purpose on earth is to be an earth angel and to find some of these lost souls, invite them in their house so that they can have one-on-one personal time with these people. These people, I know enough of these stories to tell you, these kind of people will come into your house, they will steal you blind, they will shit on your rug, they will paint shit all over your walls, and probably burn down your house, and then they'll probably try to smother you in the middle of the night. Don't invite these kind of people into your house. Huge mistake. What's to be done with them? It's not your issue. I suppose it's a societal issue, and I don't think society's got a very good handle on how to handle them. But you personally, it's not your job. Your job is to do your own thing. And if you choose to go on spiritual enlightenment, it doesn't mean going around and being Jesus to these people. You ain't Jesus. I don't know if I met Jesus or not, but as far as I'm concerned, you ain't Jesus. I never met Jesus in the physical. Now, I was going to wind this up, but I really have to emphasize, you have to be strong. You have to be strong. And some commentators say it's because your love for yourself has got to outweigh, the societal programming that, it's your responsibility. It's even like a Christian thing, to be your brother's keeper. Sorry. You have to throw a lot of this stuff away. because it doesn't work in human real life. People who are leeches are leeches. And if they're at the bottom of the barrel and they got nothing to eat, well, that's their situation. What about people who are finding that society is so expensive that they can't make a go of it? I think that's another category, and there's a lot of people in that category. How do you distinguish between people who are absolute lowlives and people who are unable to keep up with a capitalist nightmare? It's very hard to discern. But if you meditate every day and try and get into a meditative state of mind and try and keep it all day long, your higher wisdom will come through. Sometime you'll go to your higher wisdom. What the hell was that? That was clearly like a waste of my money by donating some money to somebody that you later found out spent it on crack. Maybe you'll learn that your higher wisdom is coming from a demonic who's pretending to be an angel. Keep meditating anyway. Will you be looked after? In the moments when you feel like you just got ripped off because your higher wisdom is acting like a complete lunatic, keep meditating anyway. There is no other choice. There is no other choice. If you are going to advance spiritually, you have got to get control of yourself. And there's no other way to control yourself other than to be mindful of what's going on moment to moment and go to silence as much as you can. And I know I talk a lot, but I'll tell you there's a hell of a lot of time during the day when I'm not doing the videos when I'm quiet. That's your messenger today. I'm Quicksilver.